I'm glad you appreciated that. Jesus says, Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today. Now, in a land of grinding poverty where some from among your own people become tax collectors, what do the majority of people think about a man like Zacchaeus? He is the worst of the worst. He is the scum of the earth. And when Jesus, to a man who deserves not even a second glance, says, you know what, Zacchaeus, come down. I'm going to go to your house. I'm here for you today. I mean, Zacchaeus, I think he would have immediately understood, like, I don't deserve this, this is grace. Not something that we offer to God and then he rewards us, but just grace freely given. And it's not lost, by the way, on the crowds. If you look with me at verse 7, it says this. All the people saw this and began to mutter, he's gone to be the guest of a sinner. But I want you to see how this story ends. In verse 8 it says, but Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, look, Lord, here and now I give half my possessions to the poor, and if I've cheated anybody out of anything, I'll pay back 4 times the amount. So I would say Zacchaeus gets it, right? Jesus has just extended grace. Unimaginable, ununderstandable grace. Why would Jesus want to go to my house? I don't deserve this. And he gets us like, there's no reason. He has nothing to offer to Jesus, but Jesus is freely. And you know what he does? Being a recipient of grace, he immediately responds by demonstrating that he understands by giving grace. He says, look, here and now, I'm going to take half of what I owe, I'm going to give it to the poor. If I've cheated anybody anything, I'm going to give them 4 times back the amount. Very rarely in the Bible does Jesus have an immediate exclamation like what comes next. Verse 9 says this, today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save what was lost. I don't know if you get this, but Jesus is like, look, you see this? Today, right here, do you see this? This is salvation. Today, salvation has come to this man's house. He sees Zacchaeus, stands up, okay, I've received grace, I'm going to give grace. Today, this is it. You want to see what salvation looks like? Right here. I love this story. I mean, it's right at you're starting to see how the Bible has this theme of teaching. If we've received grace, in order to demonstrate that we understand that, we were once lost, now we're found. We once had nothing, now we have everything. One more verse. I'm going to put it up here on the screen so that we can just spend some time considering it. James chapter 1. Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this: to look after orphans and widows in their distress, sensing a theme, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. You want to know what religious expression God, when he sees it, he says, that is pure and faultless. Like, you cannot argue with that. That is where it's at. Here's what it is: to take care of people who have needs. And to come back to Matthew chapter 25, which is kind of the pinnacle of Jesus' teaching. It's not that we're to cross oceans and climb mountains. It's like open our eyes to the people who live next door, to the person who's sitting next to you today. Somebody hungry? Feed them. Somebody thirsty? Give them a drink of water. Someone needing some clothes? Let's open up our closets and find what we're not using and give it to them. Somebody is a stranger, let's invite them in. Somebody's sick, why don't we go over and visit them? It's just these simple little things. I'm so just happy when I think about our congregation with the response that we had to this earthquake in Haiti. I mean, I think this is a group of people with a response like that who must, at least to a certain extent, understand grace. Like, wow, everything I have has just been given to me by God, and anything I can do. But I want to challenge everybody here today. I mean, as you think about this week, as you encounter people, are there just simple needs that you could turn to? If you're a person who once had nothing and now you have everything, if you're a person who's experienced the grace of Jesus Christ, then I want to encourage you to just look around and do the simple kind of things that it takes to extend grace to others. And that, I think, is this profound idea which is at the heart of all Jesus' teachings. And if you're a person who's here today who you're hearing about this grace for the first time and you say, wow, there's a better way to live, then I want to invite you to give your life to Jesus. I mean, this way of living for ourselves and selfish living, it only winds up at the end in a way you don't want to go. So I just want to encourage you today as you hear these words to truly, let's say together, we're going to live for Jesus. Amen?